The Dagger L is one of the grunt suits that I have written off as unremarkable when it was first announced. But despite this kit not coming with any daggers of its own, this kit itself is a dagger that slashed through my initial expectations for the kit. What is going on, guys? MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade Dagger L from Gundam Seed Destiny. Now, right off the bat, I have to mention that I am a fan of the looks. Sure, I do have my complaints, namely the underwhelming amount of panel lining options when compared to the original line art, most prominently on the front thighs, and of course the occasional seam line. For example, the one running right down the sides of the head. If the camera can focus, you can see it right there, and of course the seam line running right down the gauntlet that looks like a mold line. And of course, due to the dark blue plastic, the filing process can leave some scratches on the plastic, so you have to clean that up if you want this thing to look perfect. But other than that, the proportions are very accurately depicted on the model kit itself, and of course the colors are also accurately depicted. So this kit overall, for 89 Hong Kong dollars, it just looks perfect, and it would look even better if you bring out what is already there. Now, in terms of the stickers, or the lack thereof, yup, there are no stickers in this kit. So it's kind of surprising to me, because I thought there were gonna be at least a few stickers for some enhancements, for example the eyes, or in this case the visor and the sensors. Now, I did mention eyes because underneath the helmet, where the earmuffs connect, you can see that there are actually eyes that you can paint in under the visor. So that is what I am probably going to be doing after this review. So yeah, I never expected them to actually implement eyes underneath the visor of the Dagger, which took me by surprise. So that is pretty good attention to detail when it comes to Bandai's engineering of the Dagger, clearly showing their passion for the Dagger L itself. And of course, the clear piece that is on the eyes feeds through the slots that are supposed to be the sensors on the front and back of the head, which is very, very nice. I just cannot get over the fact that they actually done that to something this cheap. I have no words. This kit is just very, very good. But the one thing that I will be wary about when handling this kit is the head, because of the antenna being made out of plastic and the fact that there is no spare included in this kit. Articulation wise, this kit is no slouch either, but underneath it is basically the Strike Gundam. So the head is on a ball joint and a neck joint, so surprisingly this kit is not using any polycaps for the neck joint. And of course you can look down very, very good, look up not that badly, and the chicken neck is possible. So every basic feature of the double ball joints can be executed on top of the extremely good downwards head movement. The arms over here can move out on the polycap like so, they can rotate all the way around, they have no obstructions for the arm to go out, they can rotate above the elbow. Bend at the elbow at two joints, it is the Strike's frame, so yeah, you know what to expect. The wrists are on ball joints, and the waists, surprisingly, aren't on ball joints. So what you do have is a side-to-side crunch created with a plastic piece, which executes the crunches very, very well. Unfortunately though, that means there are no forward and back crunches. The stomach itself is on a huge peg that goes into the waist, so you could obviously rotate it, but due to armor constraints, you cannot rotate it past this point. Front skirts can be separated without any ill effects, side skirts can move on the polycap and they can rotate on the polycap. The back skirts are as usual unmovable, and the legs are on the funky dance joint, so yes, you can do some moves that can rival Helmut's Zemos. The legs can go forwards, go backwards, go outwards, not all the way if the skirt is in the default position, but you can obviously cheat. Rotation at the hip, double jointed knee, looking very nice. Thruster movement in the back over here. And the feet, they can go forwards and back, side to side, and rotate. But the ankle joints can look a little bit awkward because this thing does not have any side ankle armor, while it still reuses the ankle joints from the Strike. So the slot over here is going to look a little bit off-putting. So articulation on the Dagger itself, yep, this is a prevalent problem of the strike. If you push it too hard, the side skirts are just gonna fall off. But this thing does have pretty good articulation, and unless you push it too far, it will not fall apart. For accessories, you get the generic Gundam loadout as per usual for grunts. First of all, you do have the beam sabers on the side skirts that you can detach just like so, stick it into the hand, bring in the SB13 beams that this kit comes with, and here you have it. The generic beam saber being held in the hand. Next on the list, we do have the beam carbine over here, which honestly still looks like a spray gun, but okay, a carbine does have higher fire rate when compared to a rifle. This thing is made up of 4 pieces, the 2 halves, the barrel, and the color separated scope, which is very, very nice. You just open up the hand, stick it in there, and close it back up to let the Dagger hold it. Unfortunately, there are no storage options, not that I think there are any when looking at it canonically. Last but not least, we do get the shield, and the red pinstripe over here, or whatever you want to call it, is actually recreated with a plastic piece that goes from underneath the blue piece and feeds through, which is what I did not expect because the Gundam failed to recreate the yellow protrusion piece and opted to go for a sticker. But this thing right here, massive improvement. The clip over here is the main disappointment, however, because it is on a ball joint, which I'm not going to complain about anymore, since more and more kids are going to be doing that. But if you want to adjust the shield, it just comes off way too easily. Like, it's not necessarily loose, but it comes off more easily than I would have liked. Now, to mount the shield onto the arm, now I have to take this off just for clearance. You basically slide the clip right into the gauntlet, if I can angle it correctly, just like so. So it's not gonna fall out if you have done it correctly. And you just plug the shield onto the rear ball joint or the side ball joint, depending on your preferred shield position. And thanks to the ball joint, you can adjust to whatever angle that you would like the shield to be in. And here you have it, the Dagger L decked out with all the accessories that are included in the kit. However, there are still people asking me whether or not a select striker pack can work on the Dagger over here. So let's bring in the jetpack over here, and of course, because it is used on the Gundam, which is a suit based on the Strike Gundam, you can obviously use it. Now you have what is known as the Jet Dagger. But if you take the one from the Build Strike and plug it in, yes, of course it does work, but things are not just gonna go as flush as you would like. But ultimately, it still works. So every single striker pack that works with any of the strike molds can work on this thing. Yes, including the adapters that came with the Eldora Gundam. So for comparisons, of course I will have to bring in the Gundam, which is another pretty good grunt suit, but I think the Dagger does top it. But yes, prices of the two are radically different because the Dagger L does not come with a pack, which is unfortunately P Bandai. Next up, we bring in the Built Strike Gundam, which is my closest thing to a Strike Gundam that I have in my collection. And finally, let's bring in the generic Gundam. Now, this is my custom G3 Gundam entry grade. So in terms of leftover parts, the only thing that we get are whatever that is left over from the Strike. It's not the full frame of the Strike because some pieces are used in the Dagger, but you do still get some pieces that you can use for whatever purpose that you have in mind. So that's gonna wrap it up for my look on the high grade Dagger L, and I'm absolutely taken aback by how good this thing is for only 89 Hong Kong dollars. Sure, I do have my complaints when it comes to the looks, but they are minor complaints at best. The proportions are well depicted, the structural integrity is very sound, and of course the articulation matches up with the Strike. And there are some plastic joints that replaces polycaps, so that is very, very nice. Sure, I do also have a complaint with the shield, namely the shield connector, because the shield does come off way easier than I would have liked when adjusting the shield on the ball joints. But overall, this kit is definitely one that I would recommend to you guys. Plus, it does use the striker pack system, so you can customize yours to your own heart's content. And the color separation is on point, complemented by the lack of stickers. So, taking the box contents into account, I'm absolutely gonna rate it at a 9.5 out of 10. Sure, it would have been better when it has its own pack, but from the box contents alone, there is absolutely no reason not to get it, no matter if you're a beginner or a seasoned builder. So that's gonna wrap it up for me. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe for more Gunpla news, Gunpla reviews, and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the featured channels on my channel page if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.